Yeah, so the other day there, two Mormon ladies had the pleasure of my company. So yeah, I've got my big TV screen there, and I put all the stuff up there, and I was lucky. I was prepared for them because they said they'd come back, which was awesome. So I had all my bookmarks set up there, and after I finished explaining who my God was, and they were looking blankly because they don't really know the Bible. They just only know their Joseph Smith stuff. Um, because Joseph Smith is more like their Jesus than than our Jesus. But yeah, so she's saying there's the prophet where Joseph Smith got his golden plates from or whatever. So I'm like, well, prophets are traceable and trackable and provable. If they're a prophet, you can prove it because they'll have previous scriptures or teachings from previous prophets. Like, um, they even called Enoch a prophet. I've never really thought of it that way, but yeah, I guess he was. But the thing was, his granddad was still around at the time. Great great granddad, Adam. Adam was around until 50 years before Noah was born. So they all pretty much knew a lot of stuff. They were um, very important men. But yeah, if you have a look here and you try and chase all this stuff back, yeah, it starts turning into like a comic book sort of thing. Anyway, so you got the Book of Mormon here, and the historian is called Mormon. All right, so okay, well, who's this Mormon fella? Uh, the Book of Mormon states that Mormon was instructed by the prophet Ammoron. Oh, so a prophet before that prophet. so, so you got to go and track down this Ammoron next, and where to find the records that have been passed down from their ancestors. It also says that Mormon later abridged a near millennium long history of his ancestors. Millennium long. Well, that sounds like a long time. Just throw a million in there and everybody goes, oh, yeah, you must know what you're talking about. Additional revelations in the Book of Mormon divisions were relating to history, Words of Mormon, and the first 7 chapters. Anyway, the book says Mormon eventually passed all the records on to his son, Moron E. So I look at Moro in Moros, right? Foolish, fool, foolish things, foolishness. Blockhead, absurd. so, so he passed his teachings on to an idiot. Fair enough. I agree. Um, so, and you go and you try and find these lands, but was named after the land of Mormon. Alright, so if there's a land called Mormon, the Bible would know about it. If you type it in the Bible, it doesn't pop up. There's nothing. Just like, no, there is no Mormon in the Bible. Alright. So, what else was I looking for here? I noticed that a King Noah. Oh, we'll just throw a King Noah in there. When a prophet named Abinadi preaches to the court, Alma occurs with Abinadi. Anyway, he has a big fight with the evil Noah or whatever. Um, what is it? So I look for this Nephite. There's a Nephite prophet. So we'll try and find this. Where's Nephite then? King Noah. Oh yeah, there we go. King Noah. Um, the Nephites who came from Zaramia. Alright, so well anyway, what was I looking before? This is the Lamanites. This article has multiple issues. Please help prove. This means like not proven, not true. Anytime you see this sort of stuff at the top there. The Book of Mormon, the Lamanites are one of the four peoples along with the level described as having settled the ancient Americas. Yeah, and their names describe where they're from. So, uh, it just doesn't give you any maps. There's no history on that sort of stuff. So, alright, let's have a look. What was this one I was looking at? Oh, can I open this? We had to look for the Zamites. What's this? Zarahemla. Zarahemla is the land in the Book of Mormon that much of the narrative functions as the capital of the Nephites. Alright, where's the map? Show us where this thing is. Like, you do this with the Bible. If you do anything with the Bible, you find a map. Map will just pop up. This one's even worse. What was this one for? It's the Nephites. Nothing. See, nothing here is traceable. Nothing. No map. What's that? Prophet, keeper of sacred records, who instructs young Mormon about the plates and Nephite. The Words of Mormon is one of the books made up by the Book of Mormon. Yeah, so, like, you can ask, that's why I asked this lady about this prophet, Moroni. I was like, tell me about this Moroni. And they're like, she didn't know anything about him, nothing. And I still don't. I'm none the wiser. Everything's a dead end. I'm trying to find things, because what we've got is after Jesus. This appears to be so they're saying, Noah, this Noah here. He's not, obviously he's not the real Noah, if they're claiming he's the real Noah. The Noah here, oops, I closed it. The Noah here that's stated in this one is like 140 BC they're claiming. So, yeah, obviously not the real Noah. And any prophets that come after Jesus, which they have to come after Jesus, they will speak Greek because that's the world language at the time. So the world language is English at the moment. So you can get any scriptures in English, and you would get any scriptures in Greek. So I was looking for something like that. And also they'd also know who the disciples were, and also they would know who the disciples taught. Disciples had apprentices, I suppose, like Polycarp and that sort of stuff. So you got people after the disciples that took on the mantle and kept God's word moving along. So they would know that. So any prophet would be traceable and trackable. And that's my main point. So if you get the Mormons come over, ask them about this Moroni and tell them to tell them to trace him back to Jesus. Show me how we trace him back to Jesus. Because all they're doing is using the Christian Bible. To sell anybody anything, you need to attach it to the Christian Bible, because the Christian Bible is true, it's trackable. So if you attach anything to truth, then whatever you're offering must be also true. Which this is, oh my goodness, Mormonism. I've never really looked at them seriously, because I kind of think sooner or later they've got to work out that this is a load of rubbish. It's like so stupid. I take the Jehovah's Witnesses more serious than the Mormons. But at the end of it, I ended up with these two ladies. I ended up showing them my God, and then that Joseph Smith is what do you call it? A foot file. Yeah, that sort of thing. He was. That's what that mob, that group of people that killed him. Right, that's why they killed him. They didn't kill him because they didn't like him. They killed him because he was an evil man, and it was most of the people were from his lot. They were from his crowd because he was helping himself to their kids, right? And they didn't like it, and that's why he got killed. And good job too. All right, God bless.